Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope y'all are doing well. If you like what you see in this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, or share this video. Today I'm taking a look at To Vostok, released today, April 7th, as of this recording. It has a very positive review. It's developed by a single guy, from what I can tell. I actually had no idea about this game until maybe a few days ago. You know how YouTube algorithm works. It suggests a bunch of videos based on the type of content that you watch. So this being a gaming channel, I was interested, to take a look. Like I said, it was developed by a single guy. I'm guessing he's Russian, from one of the Soviet republics. Yeah, it's using the Godot engine. From what little research I did, he started the project using Unity engine and then migrated to this Godot engine, which is an open source engine. I'm very delighted to hear that because, if you've seen my previous videos, you know how I feel about Unreal Engine 5. I think it's the worst garbage engine in gaming history and an absolute disaster. So I'm here to take a look at how this game runs, considering the fact that it is not using Unreal Engine. I have very high hopes it's going to run well. In case you're wondering, this video is being recorded using a 4K 60Hz capture card recorded directly to my iMac. So whatever performance you see during gameplay should be indicative of your performance if you have similar hardware. So AMD RX 6800, RTX 5060 Ti, RTX 3070 Ti, and obviously the 2080 Ti. So the driver version, I am using the latest NVIDIA driver version, which was released March 24th, version 595.97. Okay, so there is a demo available in case you're interested. If you like what you see in this video and you want to give it a try, there's a free demo you can download. However, if you want to support the developer, the game went into early access today. It's currently 15 US bucks. So the system specs recommended, Intel Core i7. So I'm guessing if you have, anywhere from the 8700, possibly the 7700K and above, you should do just fine. System memory is asking for 8GB RAM, graphics card, GTX 1080 Ti, the legendary GTX 1080 Ti, the last good graphics card from NVIDIA without the fake ray tracing crap that started with the 2000 series. DX12 is recommended. Storage is 10GB available space, but actually the download size when I was installing the game is actually 5.54 GB. So yeah, I'm guessing it's recommending SSD. So without further ado, let me take a look at the game. It kind of reminds me of Stalker and Escape from Tarkov, and there are a lot of games like that. Half-Life possibly. So yeah, let me jump into the settings and gameplay and see how the game performs. And I'm back in To Vostok early access. You can see down below the version number is 0.1.0.0. When launching this game through Steam, you have the option to choose between DirectX 12 or Vulkan API. Of course, without hesitation, I chose Vulkan since it is the far superior and more stable API compared to DirectX 12, which is a stuttery mess in most games. So in the settings, this is all you get since it's an early access. The menu is a bit cluttered. It could use some work, but I'll give it a pass as one guy, and it is an early access. To the left of the screen, you have the input settings, mouse and keyboard. Fairly detailed input there. I'm not sure. I don't know if you suppose a controller, the DualSense DualShock Xbox controller. So what I like to see here, PC options as far as accessibility. This is a true PC game, so I applaud the developer for that. So you have the option to hold sprint, toggle sprint, lean, hold, toggle lean, aim, hold, or toggle aim. Of course, I like to hold sprint and 100% toggle aim. As far as the graphical preset, you have interpolate. I'm guessing that's equivalent to interlace in Resident Evil games. So I turned that off. It's some kind of upscale, I'm guessing. So I just turned that off. I want native resolution. Field of view, I wish it did have a number so I can, determine what my actual horizontal FOV is. I don't know if this is by default, if it's set to 90 FOV, but I just left it on default. Head bob, I turned that off. Pip scopes, I'm not sure what that means. Is it Python's pip install? Detail shadows, turn that to on. Water reflection on. Ambient occlusion on. Full screen on. Frame rate is set to unlimited. Render resolution set to ultra. Lighting ultra. And this is a true deferred rendering engine, what I like to see. This is not Unreal Engine garbage, blurry, stuttery trash. This is true deferred rendering. So you see MSAA, this is what I like to see. Give me MSAA, SMAA, CMAA any day over DLSS fake pixels or TAA blurry mess. So let me get into the game, possibly compare DX12 to Vulkan, and get into the game and just see how it performs overall. It does appear, looking at DX12 versus Vulkan, they are kind of similar in performance. DX12, however, is offering 300 megabytes VRAM and system usage less than Vulkan. FPS, average FPS are a few frames apart. This is the indoor tutorial area, so just walking around the room just to see the difference between the two. GPU temp, wattage, usage, as well as CPU seem to be roughly within margin of error. Average FPS as well. So yeah, this game is really well optimized, so your mileage may vary. I do want to say it is so refreshing to see a game with beautiful frame time. And not only that, this is an indie game, an early access indie game. You can see the flatline, beautiful frame time, Vulkan API, no DirectX 12 stuttery mess, no Unreal Engine blurry, stuttery, 20 FPS trash. This game looks beautiful. So this is like a Escape from Tarkov, single player open world adventure. Yeah, the game, you have to manage your resources, your mental state, hydration, energy, food, get some sleep. So yeah, it's like Escape from Tarkov mixed with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, that is very interesting. So yeah, looking at the performance matrix, first line GPU wattage is at 330 watts. GPU usage is 99%, which is what I like to see. CPU utilization for an open world game is fairly low. Look at the FPS. You will never see an Unreal Engine game. Never ever see an Unreal Engine game with this kind of scale running above 40 FPS. I mean, that is literally wishful thinking, right? And here's this game made by a single guy, right? And the game is just running just flawlessly. CPU temps, CPU wattage very low, which is what I like to see. GPU VRAM under 6 gigs. So if you have a GTX 1060, you should do just fine. System memory under 10 gigs, which is fantastic. So whatever this engine is, this Godot engine, it needs to be adopted more by game developers, especially indie devs. They need to stay away from Unreal Engine because just look how stable this game is. This is running on a 2080 Ti. MSAA, everything cranked up to the highest preset. No fake pixel algorithm upscaler like DLSS FSR, right? And no blurry TAA, right? And look at the frame time. I haven't started once. And the game does not have a single shader precompilation. You just boot into the game. That's it. You just launch a game and you boot into it, and that was it. You didn't have to wait eternity. And not only that, nowadays, if you play Borderlands 4, for example, shader precompilation takes like 5 minutes. And then when you run into the game is still a stuttery mess, right? That is an Unreal Engine 5 game, and it's still blurry and looks like shit. Yeah, look at the frame rate, a 2080 Ti. Let me see people come into my comment section and say, oh yeah, your system is old. Not really. It just takes good optimization, to harness the power of a 2080 Ti. A 2080 Ti, like I said, it can still hold its own, no problem. Over 160 FPS, everything cranked up to ultra with MSAA set to 4x. The game looks so clean and pristine. You know, the alias, the edges are fully resolved. Not a single jagged edge. And yeah, the game just looks so clean. You know, yeah, sure, the environments are static, but you know, the shadow distance, the draw distance, the texture, everything looks pretty good. You know, like look at Escape from Tarkov. That game is extremely unoptimized, right? I don't know what engine that uses, but I know that I've played it before, and that game is very stuttery. Yeah, this is fantastic. You know, this is what I like to see. Like you know, just when I lose faith in PC gaming, you know, games like this just give me hope of, you know, what's possible. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe. Take care.